I don't even know how to start. It's weird having to tell internet strangers about your problems, but here we are. Um, I would say from October 2024 until maybe just about now, I had gone through a pretty tough period in my life. I lost my mother. I had to face a family crisis. During that whole time, I would say I went through a depressive episode. It wasn't quite depression, it wasn't quite extreme like how I have seen or heard others experience depression, as in you barely bathing yourself, you might miss work, you can barely eat. I did go through moments where the only thing I really could possibly do and muster up is a day in bed. Definitely will wash myself, definitely will eat because I still have responsibilities. Yeah, and it was hard to admit that. It was hard to admit that I'd went something like that, uh, that I had went through something like that again in my life. Losing my mother was definitely one of the hardest moments I've yet to experience. Unfortunately, how life goes. In this life, I know I'm going to have to experience more painful deaths that'll probably hurt way more than my mother's death. And just to be hit with that, and like I said, the other crises that occurred and having them so close together just kind of it shook my faith in myself, in my life, in the world around me. During that time, I felt like, what's the point? I think around September 2025 is when I really fell off of my weight loss journey, and I would eat out practically almost every day because the decision fatigue to have to figure out how to cook meals, and me personally going through something with my diet where I was not digesting meat. The only thing that really my body was tolerating was beef. Sometimes I could do pork, whatever. I was just having a real hard time digesting. And on top of figuring out what meals I was going to eat every day, I had to think about my dietary restrictions at the time. I mean, I would get physically nauseous if I ate too much of meat. So I had to figure out what was going on with that. The decision fatigue from trying to figure out what are you going to eat every day really took its toll on me. Getting through a legal process and worrying about the outcome all the time, and also grieving one of my favorite people in my life. It was tough. And I get it. The reason why I don't want to, the reason why I'm feeling hesitant to even make this is because everybody's depressed and everybody has autism and everybody's on the spectrum. And I don't, I feel personally like me adding to that just adds to the slop. I guess one way to look at it is maybe people are just being more honest about what's going on with them. But then the other part of me says an overly therapeutic society is not a productive society. So I'm conflicted, but whatever. I'm just gonna put this out just to get it off my chest and to maybe help me work through and vent some of the issues that I was going through. I was diagnosed with depression when I was 14. This is how I knew I was having a depressed moment, is because I felt like how teenager me felt. I felt isolated. I felt alone. I felt like the biggest failure. I felt trapped. The feeling isolation, even though I'm not alone and I have plenty of support, it just felt like nobody understands or nobody can really help. I think I really understand now what they say about depression is anger really turned in on yourself. Because now that I'm thinking about it, it's just a lot of anger and resentment geared towards me. Blaming myself for everything. Why is everything like this? If only I could do this. Literally feeling in your body like you can't move. Like your body just collapses in on itself. And you feel like this big dying star, I would say. And especially at my big old age, there's always this constant, I should be farther along, or I should have more things figured out, or more money saved, or more independence, which I believe is all true. But during this time, I just couldn't figure out, why do I feel so stuck, and why couldn't I get out of this stuckness? Especially being a spiritualist, you have so many resources and so many solutions to your problem. I don't know, I just felt kind of stupid that I couldn't grasp or get a hold of, or in the self-sabotaging to get out of my own way. I th- I see there's so many decisions I could have made but then didn't make, that maybe it's time to let that go. Ruminating on the decisions I didn't make just so I can get back on my path. But for a while, I felt like I was always gonna be stuck here, and I was never gonna get back on my path. That's what it truly felt like. I was never going to get back onto my path. I was watching one of my favorite bloggers, Marley Bloodrose, and she was saying she had moved back from LA to her hometown. And she was saying all this year, I just didn't want to work. I didn't want to have to overexert myself. And I thought, oh my God, thank goodness somebody is going through the same thing that I'm going through. Because it's not like I don't do anything or don't put any effort anywhere. It's just, things have, at least in my business, things have slowed down. Everything isn't a dire situation. I'm not struggling, but everything is more leaner at this stage. I accept that things are a little bit leaner. I don't like it that way because, I don't, I don't want to have to, obviously I want to give in to instant gratification. I do not want to have to wait for anything, everything I want now, no, 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 especially coming from when you could practically get everything now, no, 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 no. I look at this space where I'm in now, and it just felt like now I can see a little bit clearer of why I needed the rest, why I needed the to take the step back away from trying to hustle and complete and uh accomplish and ticking things off of boxes. I needed to be strong for my family. I needed to be strong for myself. I needed to be strong for my family. Uh, but all of that just kind of left me feeling not, I guess, yeah, depleted might be a good word. I felt I'm struggling to get nowhere. And I hate that feeling so much. I hated it so much. I hate feeling like I have to sit down. I'm not the most patient person at times. And when the world or your life is telling you to slow down, stay put, it frustrates me. It frustrates me so much. I get so angry and I get so antsy because I hate having to sit and wait for things to play out or wait for other moves to be made so I can move forward. I hate it. I don't like sitting there. I feel like something is invading my body or something in my body is like, you know, I don't know. It feels like my body is electrified and, and just antsy and itchy and I can't sit for long and I have to move and do something or else I'll feel uncomfortable. I know being depressed or having depression happens at any stage in your life. I feel like, for me, it comes in waves, especially when I have a big trigger for it, I guess you can say. I think the gig or the jig is up that everything is supposed to be figured out at a certain stage in life. And especially coming from me, I'm such a late bloomer and everything in my life has been done backwards. Like, I had the baby when I was 20. I got married at 20, 25. and divorced at 27. The entrepreneur thing, the business thing, working or self-employment, I'll call it more so self-employment, the self-employment thing. And I've done so many things so unconventionally, I'll say. I've done a lot of things unconventional, and I don't regret any of it, or I'm trying to say like, oh, parenthood is bad or nothing like that. I don't regret having my child. I don't regret living my life how I thought I could have lived it. I know I have an unconventional lifestyle and I'm an unconventional woman. I look back on all the things that I've done and the situations and all of that, and sometimes it's hard to feel pride in certain things when you don't have the life to show for it. When you don't have, I don't have a life that is in me, like that's ingrained in me that I see so many people living. And when you don't have it, something that you just like, damn, I'll do damn near whatever it takes to get it. And then you just like, damn, I'm not there yet, or I didn't get there. Like I said, I know I have some issues with self sabotage. I know I have issues with consistency. So I'm not saying this because, oh, I've tried so hard and I still didn't get what I want. That's not what I'm saying. I know I fucked up. I know there's some things I fucked up on and I need to work on. So yeah, on the other hand, it's not knowing when to be tough on yourself and when to really give yourself the break that you need. That's a constant struggle within me. I probably struggle with this my entire life. Only because I know I'm tougher and more capable than I let on to be. I'm not a particularly emotionally emotive person. I can be emotional. I don't wear my heart on my sleeve, and I am the type of woman that believes you can overcome anything. Nothing can really stop you. So when I get bogged down with emotionality or how I'm feeling, I feel like a punk. Yeah, I just feel soft. I feel soft in a way that's like vulnerability has its place and it's not really for a lot of people to see. Maybe that's the cap in me. I don't know. I just hate going through it because I feel like emotions are so big that they consume people and you don't know who they are. And I feel like being overly emotional just it hinders you in a way. And I don't want to be hindered or held back. So that's why I'm saying this, making this video gives me the ick too, because gross, gross feelings. All of this. I'm not saying like, oh, I found the key. This isn't a self-help video. If anything, it might be demotivational. I might be demotivating you from you achieving your goals and dealing with depression. I wanted this video to be just kind of raw, unfiltered, not unfiltered, but I just wanted to be a raw explanation of this point that I'm in my life. I wanted to explore it. I wanted to just say it. But I will say I'm coming out the other side of it. I don't know if I'm fully done with the depressive episode yet, but I don't feel so heavy like I usually have been for the past year and a half. Yeah, everything felt like I was moving through water. I had this ugly, wet fur coat hanging on my shoulders. There have definitely been moments that were darker than others. I would just fantasize about going to a mountaintop and just letting go, not jumping off or anything. It wasn't like a suicidal situation, but it was just to experience a moment of peace, a moment of letting go of my burdens and feeling free again. Because I feel like in my early 30s, my late 20s, early 30s, I felt so free. I felt like I could do anything. And then now that I'm at this middle point, well, let's just fuck it, let's just be real. You just considered old. Like if this was the 1800s, you'd be considered a spinster. And it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling when you keep hearing about how you're not really useful anymore, or nobody wants you, or you have all these responsibilities and all these milestones that you really haven't hit. That is stressful and it hurts. It hurts And it's scary to have to think about. No one wants to feel useless, you know? No one wants to feel like because I'm not a certain age or because the wrinkles start showing up or because the gray hairs start popping in. No one wants to feel, man or woman, no one wants to feel useless or being cast aside. That sucks, you know? And I have to think about that now. I surely think about it when I get up in the morning or when I stand up or when I'm not moving as fast as I used to down the stairs. It's very sobering. Like, oh, wait, I forgot where I learned this from, but someone said you can't cheat anymore when you get to this stage. Your youth gives you so much, so many get out of jail free cards with your body, but now it's like dwindling down. You can't just get up and go anymore. Like, moving every day, like exercise is not optional. Exercise is not optional. I have to start my days a particular day. It's like you have to like rev your body up. Like you have to massage it into being at its optimal. Yeah, that's a good one. You have to like, you know what I'm saying? Like you like the slow cooker beef now, like not a steak that you could just pan fry and everything's good. Like no, you gotta prepare it. You have to put it in a slow cooker, you know, put it in the Dutch oven for it to get this best flavor, like low and slow. That's weird. I don't want to compare me and my other me and my other girls at this stage to being a slow cooked pot roast, but whatever. Here we are. And ultimately, what I have been focusing on is not how to stop aging, but I have decided that fuck aging. Like, I don't want to. I know people say your wrinkles are so beautiful and you've earned them, but the people who have them don't seem to be very proud of them. They want to get rid of them. If they could, they would. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna start where I am to. I'm gonna start where I am to make sure I keep myself looking youthful. I don't want to look 21. That's silly. I definitely don't want to look haggard and depleted. I want to look as youthful as I can for as long as I can. 'Cause fuck aging. I don't like it. And I'm gonna sit here and be proud to say I don't fucking want to get old. Or I don't want to look old. If I could go back, if I could keep this mind state that I have and look 20, I would in the ideal sense. Maybe 25, I don't know. Or just shed a whole bunch of weight. I don't know. But to pretend like I wouldn't, to pretend like I'm enjoying this and looking back and reflecting on where I've been. Ugh, it's strange and it depressed me. It did. I would say in my 20s, I'm at 30s now. I'm at the midpoint. It's like looking back and not being so proud of your life. Not every decision. For overall, like overall, I'm okay with my life. I would give my life a C plus, maybe a B, but I think I do okay for the circumstances that I'm in. Of course, it could be better, but I know I've been through worse. I've been through worse. And I've created a life that I really enjoy for the most part, you know? And the stuckness part is always wondering, okay, how can I do better? How can I get myself out of this situation? Because a lot of times you just get old and tired of doing the same situations, having the same problems, not coming up with enough solutions. You know, when it's time to kind of move on and embrace a different path, have new challenges, get new results. I would say that's the stage I'm in right now. Yeah, like I said, I don't have any solutions. I'm not coming up with solutions in this video. No solutions, just a nice little stream of consciousness to explain where I am, how I feel, get it off my shoulders, and just see where it takes me. I hope if anybody watched this, they get some maybe what I was looking for, that reassurance, like, hey, you're not going through this alone. And maybe depression looks like something different for everybody. And if you're feeling burned out and you're feeling like, damn, I'm doing a bare minimum every day to make sure to keep this life afloat, that's fine. That's also fine too. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.